got YB with me.
Y'all already know, man, what it is, what it do, man. It's your boy Bruce Barnes, from Ben Hill to the Hills, from the A to the Bay, Oakland City to Oakland, Union City to Union City. Y'all already know how it goes, man. But today, we got my boy, Julius Michael B in this bitch with me, man. Artist, talented. I mean, the young man, like I said, he got a lot of talent and everything. So we gonna let him introduce himself for real and let y'all know what he got going on.
Okay, well, I go by the name of Julius Michael B. Last name Beltran, but you can call me Mr. B. You know, I'm about to get that big beat. But I am an artist. I grew up in Bakersfield, California. Right now, I live out here in Oakland, California. Started out in Richmond, been all throughout the Bay. Well connected, well respected. And right now, I just want to take the time and just support my boy Bruce. He got this awesome podcast, a very amazing setup. I mean, I'm astonished about the professionalism he always continues to bring. He actually did one of my music videos that I haven't released yet. It was big budget, great budget, and I think every penny was worth it considering who was behind the lens. And so, without further ado, we're just gonna get right into it, chop it up with y'all, drink, smoke, talk about life, music, movies, whatever.
That's what it is, man. So, with that being said, like you said, we gonna drink smoke. We gonna salute to the top of the show. And I mean, cheers to everybody.
Cheers,
I mean, to prosperity,
cheers
good money. Everybody being good, everybody being alive. Having a good time, moving forward, and building in their career and their life. Cheers to that. Whew. But y'all already know, man. This is a smoker show, so you know what we do on this show. You fire that bitch up. I let my guests fire it up today and get it going and started. But yeah, we gonna get into we gonna jump into the movies and everything. Well, what are your type of favorite movies? What movies do you think watching as a kid, you growing up on, kind of molded you to be the person you are today, or to make the music that you make?
Okay, well, I would say one of the ones that stood out to me once you said it, like as a kid, was this movie called Faking the Funk. I forgot who starred in it, but it was either Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Asian, but he was, in the hood. If y'all know what Faking the Funk is, y'all know what I'm talking about.
We gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
I honestly, I've never seen Faking the
It's
Funk.
a good movie.
So yeah, you got to tell me about this one. It's interesting.
Yeah, I got jungle fever, baby. But yeah, so that one kind of put in perspective, some of the things that I could kind of relate to growing up in a diverse, eclectic family, such as my mother and father. They were separated, so then it becomes a bigger family, once that happens. So that movie kind of just helped me kind of gauge what it was to be two races per se. And he wasn't two races, but he was an Asian living in a black household, which I could kind of relate to. So that'd be one, Faking the Funk.
So you're saying being two races, that means you are multicultural. You are what two ethnic are you? What two races are you combined with?
So
I'm trying to find the right political way to say it, because everything
people
today you get banned. I don't want to say nothing wrong because I don't want to offend nobody
at all. But I am Filipino and black. My mother told me, we have a
Black Filipino, Black Filipino, Black Filipino, Black Filipino.
Creole maybe, little Indian. So that's about it, like Cherokee type shit. So.
Okay. Every black person said they got Cherokee in them, man. What is
I
it?
think that's kind of.
Is that really what we all have? Is
Cherokee? I always wondered,
or is that just what we know? So that's what we say.
Right.
We're gonna have to look it up, see who all really got that real Cherokee.
For real.
Or
motherfuckers be faking Cappy.
Don't be having no type of Indian in them, nigga. You is not indigenous.
That's why I want to do the lineage thing. You swab your shit up and then see where you from. And a lot of people, there's a lot of black people that are Nigerian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
very much Nigerian.
it's
Uh,
interesting to see.
East African,
Hmm.
Nigerian. I mean, knowing those countries and definitely knowing your background and where you come from
For real.
is definitely something to get in contact with, because it's not just the fact of knowing who you are, because that's going to open up a whole nother avenue of who you are, because now you have something to dive into. But it's
Hmm.
also with your health, medical reasons, and all of that, because now you're knowing the origins of things that have been happening. Like, I've been getting this pain, so, and if you look back into it, you have great grandfathers or something, they get that same pain, and you might find out how to cure it. Like, it's been done, but knowing where you're from is definitely something that we should all get going. It's definitely harder for us as Black Americans to know exactly where we're from. You have to dig way back into your roots, and most of our roots and records have been lost somewhere
For sure.
along this history line. So they're being broken, and to get all the way back to those facts of that original origin is definitely going to be, I believe, is something hard to do, but it's definitely a journey that I believe we should all take and figure that out. So I think that was a good movie that you say it molded you in becoming who you are, because it helped you deal with being two races in a household and
Yeah, you just managing
identifying
and
yourself.
yeah, navigating through those waters. And it's not really to say that I had a struggle per se. There's plenty of people that struggle way worse than me, and that part is the evaluation of self that I could really just go into. But um, just knowing that you are these two races, and knowing that in a sense you're not you're your own in a sense, because one side may be very diverse, where the other side is very cultured. You know, and
Hmm.
it could be um, very confusing to navigate once a divorce happens or something like that, because now it's two sets of rules as opposed to kind of like the same overall when it's completely one race. So
It's interesting.
yeah, for sure.
Me, I don't know. I'm one race, and I'm accepted by all, though. You
Exactly.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Sometimes I'm Dominican. Sometimes I'm Cuban. I'm Cuban B.
Yeah,
You
for
call me
sure.
Cuban B. By the
Got
beach.
I got a little
No,
accent,
I'm.
little that English accent, you know. A cup of tea,
Cup of tea.
cup of
Cup of
tea.
tea.
Don't
I
play.
think it's good to be multicultural. I think I might have me some Black Filipino kids, man. You know,
Okay,
some little Blaxican kids, some Black Filipino kids. You
oh
know,
yeah.
diversify the world and everything.
Hey, you got to. I mean, they said that, but by the end of a few decades, we'll all be multi-raced.
Pretty much, pretty much. What would be another movie that you might say?
I would say, let me see, that I love, that I just was like, oh, the Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Gladiator was everything. My dad put me onto that when it came out. Russell Crowe, that dude, he was amazing.
Russell Crowe is an amazing actor.
Man, phenomenal. And it, that movie alone just kind of transcends his legacy. I mean, considering the time stamp was perfect. How the visual aspects, everything that kind of went into the production was beyond. You know, it created its own universe, its own world. Nonetheless, still in reality with the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and him believing in Stoicism and stuff like that. So, Gladiator kind of put me onto a path of philosophy and understanding of the world, because there was so many concepts that you could draw from being alienated from your own people. No matter, like, you could do so much for someone, but that out of wanting a position of power or even wanting your place specifically, you learn how to navigate that through this man, um, is Maximus, you know, like, and one of the things that stuck out was like win the crowd, you know, you, people's chant, and once you have the people, the powers that be don't even matter.
You better have me go back and look at this movie completely differently now. When he started talking about that's what got him into philosophy and everything else, like he really broke down the movie in a lot of ways that most people have never looked at. Most people just look at a lot of the action scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Now, this movie was spectacularly shot. I think it was shot all in 120 frames or faster. So even when you're looking at the movie, the frame rate is and it's like it's a whole different like I don't even know like my first time seeing it like on this super big high definition TV.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it because it was so surreal. Like how is this going on? Like the shots they're so in motion and they're like it changed a lot of ways of people look at shooting. And of course, me being a cinematographer, I look at different ways of shooting. Oh, it's coming on rap. We lit this bitch from the wrong side.
Fucked up the blunt. See, I was talking hella shit too, saying I wrote the most perfectest blunts and here this motherfucker go. Nah. Fucking with this shit.
Well, you know, shit happens, you know. I'm gonna let you fix it.
Yeah, we don't like this shit.
But yeah, that was a definite move. I think when it comes to Russell Crowe, he hasn't really made too many bad movies. I know I can't name any off top anyway. He has a remarkable track record. Shit, if you know Russell Crowe was in the movie, you're gonna go see that motherfucker just to see what it's about. The movie can be called "Butt Fucks on the Mountain" and with starring Russell Crowe. You be like, what the hell? Who's butt fucking on this mountain?
Yeah.
Russell Crowe's not butt fucking on the mountain. What is the butt fuck? I need to know. You're gonna go see this butt fucking on the mountain movie with Russell Crowe and find out that it's about somebody that got kidnapped and he is in this group that's called the butt fuckers and in the mountain. I don't know it, but you're gonna go see it and it's gonna completely give you a mind fuck on what you really thought it was originally.
To be.
But yeah, I'm
we getting high. We had a couple shots.
She might need to go to the store and get some more. You know what I mean? She's gonna start keeping the shots on the show as well as you do.
The action too, though, in the arenas, like when you think about like how like what you said, the shots and everything, you feel like you in the fucking arena. Like,
yeah.
Damn. And
like,
your head got to be on a swivel and shit. Just feeling that gruesome, that gruesome intent.
Connection.
Yeah.
You feel like a true.
Feel like a gladiator. Like
I think that a movie that might have got some inspiration of how they shot was Kingsman.
Kingsman. What's that?
You haven't seen Kingsman?
Seen Kingsman.
Well, who's the young guy? I'm horrible with names, but it's a British type movie. They're spies. He recruits the guy. The action sequences in that movie are so.
The Kingsman. You're
the
talking
Kingsman.
About the new,
yeah.
I know, yeah.
I think that it might have had a lot inspired how it was shot because those shots are so in motion. I can't even think of like the perfect word right now. Y'all know I'm horrible with words. I'll figure them out later. Bring me a thesaurus, y'all. We'll get it right. But those shots, they're like so in sequence to where you feel connected all the time. And I know a lot of them were one shot where they did it to where it was just one shot and the camera is moving one sequence in time and all of this shit is going on. Like the choreography for that type of shit is amazing in itself to be able to put all of that together and get everybody on cue. I mean, it's a dance. So you're choreographing the dance and everybody out there dancing the right way with the fight, boom, boom, you hit them the right. I can't dance, so.
You know what I really am yearning to see that they haven't done and I think we need to do is a fight scene where a woman wins over this big guy, but reality wise, it has to have that real surreal feeling. Not no, oh, there's a knife right here. I'm gonna just get him in the side. Oh, accidentally, I can actually be in reach. Like it really has to you really almost have to watch the entire movie and get to that point to really just feel that moment. Like,
Or why she can beat him
oh,
and
why,
feel her
how,
empowerment
and yeah, how can you know what I'm saying? Cause that we're on cause on Netflix that movie Enola Holmes, Holmes 2. It's like a spinoff of Sherlock Holmes from the girl from Stranger Things, Bobby something.
Oh, I haven't seen this. See, and this is what we need to be on. He telling y'all about another movie now, and what's it called? Enola Holmes.
Enola Holmes 2.
So it's a spinoff from Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And all of us love Sherlock Holmes,
Them
man.
fighting
We love
scenes
this
is lit.
mystery and shit. So
Yeah.
Enola Holmes, we definitely have to go check this out.
solid.
It's on Netflix.
It's lit.
So ain't no reason that you can't say you can't stream it. Stream this on Netflix. Y'all comment below how y'all like this Enola Holmes. I'm definitely gonna go check it out. And maybe on one of these next episodes or something, I'll tell y'all how I liked Enola Holmes. We'll get that Enola Holmes review and we'll get all talking about. But yeah, y'all tell me below how y'all liked it. If y'all already watched it, tell me what you feel about it. Like I haven't seen it. It's something new to me. So
What y'all think about the fighting scenes in particular when it comes down to like the girl on guy? Y'all know what I'm talking about, but yeah.
So we gonna get into that.
Yeah, so in that movie I was really looking for that realism, and it was coming through on certain cases, but I mean, you can only do so much with 12-year-old actor. I mean, she's supposed to be like 15, 16, just really, really young. And there's this old man. So, and his build, it makes it real where he's kind of skinny, scrawny old man. Ultimately, how he died was for sure like kind of cool and real. But in the midst of the going back and forth, I would like to have seen like more of a struggle on both sides type shit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely got to check this out. But I'm completely like clueless to this whole No Long things. I've never heard of it, and
I mean,
I'm surprised it haven't popped up on my Netflix. It's something to watch. Which, of course, your Netflix gears to the things that you watch and everything else. And I think mine's all on a bunch of sci-fi stuff right now. I've been really into aliens lately. I keep telling y'all like conspiracy and aliens. I'm watching all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You might be an alien. I don't know.
Yeah. So Gladiator, Faking the Funk, those some really, really great movies.
So what was your favorite black movie growing up?
Let's see.
If you could rate your black cinema movies, what would be your top 5?
Oh shit. So I would think the number one on the list, which seems so cliche, but I mean, you gotta give the flowers where it's due. I would say Friday, simply because we have a director that came from the music industry, and through that music industry, he actually influenced it vastly when it comes to the NWA and things of that nature. So like Ice Cube pulling all those casts together, and just another one, like it's right there with Gladiator. I wouldn't even say best black cinemas. It's a great, just real introspective perspective on how it is to live, in those kind of rural but ghetto but areas. Cause it felt to me, cause I grew up in Bakersfield, like the boonies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like it could be inner city, but it also could be, and I think that's why it transcended overall through.
Because it relates everywhere.
Overall through the communities. Like, it's just, he was unapologetically showing it how it was. It wasn't like trying to make it better or worse. It's just what it was. feel me? So
I think what he did with that movie was brilliant. Of course, y'all know Ice Cube is my number one favorite entrepreneur, director, and promoter, producer. Like for the simple same reason that he said how he came from the music industry, made such an impact, turned to these movies. And if anybody pays attention to the movies and everything that Ice Cube makes, like he only makes family movies now.
yeah,
This man went from the most gangsterest person you know, the most gangsterest nigga in America, to like the best family man. And to me, as a man, I
promoting
believe
that too.
that is the route that any real man is wants to go in their life. Like
That,
being young, you might have to do whatever you have to do, and while you're out there to put your family in a position or to get your money, or maybe because you don't have the knowledge or the gains to be in another position to do different things. So you're doing what you think is the best thing to do at that time
yeah,
to put your people in that position. And whether if it's being the most gangster person, whatever, but like I say, you do what you have to do to put that dish. But when you get to you get a family and you become a family, you're doing everything to keep your family and
yeah,
you stay on that family. So you only now you're doing family shit.
yeah.
You separate yourself from those streets or wherever you were, and you put yourself back in the light of doing that family shit. So you don't have to be in those streets. You don't have to be out there and doing all that other shit anymore. You're in the light of a family and still pushing your family. Um,
That, that's why, like, for me, like as an artist, I think why sometimes I can't put something out, or why sometimes, because sometimes it's just an expression, but then you realize if you were to become more than but an expression, where you're seen as a public figure, that expression then becomes law to people's eyes. Not to say that it is laws of nature and its gravity, but to have that influence and deliberately manipulate it, I could never do because of the mindset I just grew with. So it is hard to make sometimes them songs like "Get It, Bitch," "Giddy Up," because I want to be able to give substance, but at the end of the day, I do know sometimes that substance is so real to our like so real to now that we have to kind of we suppress we do certain things. We want to live life all the way through. We don't want to feel those negativities, and I can understand where like what you were saying with Ice Cube, he kind of just understood it and used it in a way that is very admirable, because that is what a real gangster is supposed to do.
Exactly.
You could now officially say he's a real gangster because he stood up to something, stood up to his own odds, to what our own people said is acceptable too, because we do that too. We do a certain domestication to ourselves. As much as we may say the system or the powers that be do it, we then indirectly do it to our own people.
because we
And
feed into it.
hmm
What other ways do you think that we do it to ourselves? I want to elaborate on that.
I was. Let me one second. Let me light this blunt. That's gonna help. Gonna help
See,
this out.
sometimes you gotta catch them. You going into it and catch them off guard. But I completely agree with because I think I know what he's trying to say, and that's why I meant what said like when he's saying we do it to ourselves. It's like not that we're out there intention, but we're feeding into those mindsets.
Yeah.
Like when he's saying people with that influence, instead of changing the things that we say or that we're putting out there, we feed into that negativity and continue putting that negative aspect out there, knowing that we're influencing a generation. These younger generations, a lot of these celebrities and everything, you're role models. They're looking up to you. So everything that you say and you do, this is what this young kid is going to do. They think that it's right.
Relationship would be one.
See,
Uh,
he thought about it and came right back. I like that.
being it, being in a relationship in the black community, the shit I'd say predominantly in Oakland right now, in this community that I know and I'm grown accustomed to, it's very, very people act very conspicuous when it comes to a relationship, and it's almost as if they want to see an empire torn down before their eyes. They want to be the one to do it too, because in a sense they don't have an empire themselves, nor do they even have a desire to build one up until they see one already built.
So is that
So
that the reason that you have to definitely watch the relationships that we build with people?
yeah, I would say.
Because every way that you deal with a person is a relationship. But definitely, you do have to watch the relationships you build with people, because some people are building a relationship just to tear you down. Some people want that relationship to build you up, and whether if it's a friendship, a sexual relationship, a companionship, or whatever it is, like I say, shit, your relationship with the person at the store down the street that you talk to every motherfucking day, you can have a good relationship or a bad relationship with this person.
Exactly.
Every time you go into this store, you might not like this cashier. Like, why the fuck? You always trying to overcharge me. Just buy and go. Like, and some people, you might have a great relationship. Every time you come, so what's happening?
Yeah.
Man, let me get two of them backwoods. Let me get a shot at that. Let me, like, and depending, and every time you just happy when you go in that store for some reason, because your relationship with that person behind the counter is good. And you go into this other store, and just for some reason, you just have a bad relationship with this person behind the counter. You don't like the way they talk. They don't like the way you look. So as soon as you come in, they already assuming something about you. They don't know anything about you, but because of whatever, you two have a bad relationship. And instead of solving the problem in your relationship or finding out where the problem lies in your relationship, you let it build. It intensifies. So now it's always heat there.
Because you're in those moments when I think relationship on an outer perspective. When we focus on a relationship from an outer perspective, we act out of ego. And if we were to focus self on relationship, we start to recognize what we have done, good and bad, and that gives us peace in a sense to be able to navigate how we want to handle whatever situation comes when it comes to finances, disagreements, agreements, events, planning, coming together to do things. And I just think that has a lot to do with just the domestication of relationships and how people perceive their self in it. Then it gets them to act just, just in a way that is a third person party type perspective. Like I'm in my movie, so you're trying to write the script as you're living life. It's kind of hard to do that.
What level of growth do you think a person has to go through until they can start looking at themselves? I mean, do you think that is a level of growth? I already said, because I think that it's a level of growth that you have to go through till you start looking at yourself. Like, most people still can't hold themselves accountable. Holding yourself accountable is a big part of looking at yourself. Shit, the greatest of all time said it a long time ago, and if we all paid attention, let's say we listen to music and all of this, we dance to it, but sometimes we listen to the words. Your biggest problem is the man in the mirror. Michael Jackson been told us, look in that mirror, you saw them problems within yourself. You can learn to solve problems outside. Like, I made a post the other day, and I was like, I was just, I joke around, I talk a lot of shit always, but it's always seriousness in a lot of the shit that I talk, just to make the points. But I took a picture of myself at the lunch table and said, this industry is very cliquish. One thing about me, I never minded being alone. And I made that post to say, you have to be able to stand alone before you can stand with somebody else.
There you go.
If you don't know who you are, you can't stand with a crew. You can't, be in a successful relationship with anybody, because you're still trying to find out who you are.
It's Spartans. They did it well.
And that's a battle.
Each person focused on themselves in a way that was better for everyone because they understood the role they played. In a sense, when they walked up in battle and shit, like what you was saying, like, all right, we're gonna put a defense up. Nothing but shields pulling up, and if any shield was out of place, one man would go down, the other man will follow, and they couldn't have that. It's a chain linked event. Everything we do can affect others, does affect others, and we're ignorant to think our power is nothing. Oh, I'm just doing. Well, you have power. What you're saying is you're taking away that power, and I think our power of self is the ultimate power, not power of others.
We live in a society that these days that they want everybody to feel so independent.
And
I can do everything on my own. I can do it all alone. But that independency is separation. If you're separated, then you're not united. If you're not united, then you're not as one. And it is easy to knock anything off in separation. You can't knock no group off coming off in a group of people coming down in your middle of your street. How you gonna knock them off? Yeah, you might hit a couple of them, but then the overrun is gonna overrun you every time. But if y'all separated, you can hit them. Pop, pop, pop. You can hit all those separations. You know what I mean? Because it's a bit separation. You can gear in on that separation. Like it's easy to kill anything that's separate than something that's together. And that's something that, like I say, we have to learn. We have to learn to come together. I'm going to hit on this on another topic when I'm talking about Black Panther and everything. The coming togetherness and everything. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, coming together is definitely something that we have to learn to do. And when we learn to come together and learn that even the things that I can do on my own, this guy can help me relieve a little bit of it, and I can help him relieve something that he's trying to do. We're going to build up and have a whole lot more than just this one thing that I'm trying to do. Now we got 10 things that we got done because we're working together to get more done in less time, and that's how businesses are run. The same businesses that we all think are in competition most of the time are working together. One is doing this, and then just
a duplication.
Yeah.
Of they just duplicate it. It's kind of like
that's what I was telling somebody earlier today. Like half of the products we buy are the same thing with a different name. It's like they know it's gonna work. We're gonna buy the same thing and change the name, but it's that's reverse. You know.
If you think about it, like Sprite and Coca-Cola, it's the same exact company.
Yeah,
it's
all Coca-Cola.
But it's a choice giving that we think is a choice, but it's directing. It's more options to a service that is it's under one service still.
Exactly.
So, I think once you become service to yourself, you're indirectly of service to everyone. You become a great lawyer. You become a great accountant. You become a great house builder. Talking about the level of the and you might have an unlevel house if you don't have a great house builder. And what's that gonna do? You know, so indirectly, even if you're doing something for yourself, it's because of others. You're getting money for yourself. You're feeding someone else's pocket when you want to eat. You're purchasing seeds. If you say you have your own ranch, there is some way that you can't.
If you have your own business,
it's impossible.
And you making merchandise and everything, you still need your customers to sell to.
Yes, you
Go
do.
on and text them folks so they know that you on the park. They don't just think that you out there tripping. You know what I mean? They gonna keep hitting. What the hell is you doing, Julius Michael B? What you doing?
Hey, words are impeccable, and when you say one thing, like, hey, I'm here. Everything else for them, that's them. See, you handle yourself. You told them where you was gonna be at. You proper necessity. You know, I'm looking. It's not an emergency on her behalf, so you're rocking.
And y'all heard it right there from Julius Michael B. If somebody tell you where they going and what they doing, I guess you just gotta trust it. And he told him before he was gonna be on a podcast. This is what he is on the podcast. So while they hit him on the phone, he can't answer because he don't want to interrupt the podcast. So there you go.
That would be disrespectful to this man.
I thank you.
See, At the end of the day, it's all you want to be aware of what people do for themselves because it does help others.
Some people aren't unaware of other people's shit.
What's up, boss?
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But some people are unaware of other people and other people's time and shit like that. Like, you have to be aware of all of that. Like, what's going on. Respectful of other people's time. Because, I mean, most people don't have to be. But if you're respectful of other people's time, it always comes back to you. And people want to respect your time. Might not be the person that you want to respect your time. But it'll be the person that needs to respect your time. And that's something else that we have to see. Sometimes the people that we want to act a certain way aren't going to act the way that we want them to. We can't expect it. Yeah, you can't expect a person to act the way that you want them to. You can only accept a person for the ways that they act and choose to accept them if you choose to or not. You go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Hey. That nigga said it crazy. But I read some exactly what you were saying. They said anger is punishment of self for someone else's mistake.
Yeah.
And most of the time when we're angered, it's because we don't have control of the situation the way we would like. And ultimately, in that, we could just say, I can control my emotions. I can control my actions. I can control what I'm thinking.
And that's what we have to. That's all we can control is how you react to the situation. You can't control. Like most times, you can't control what's going on. You can plan all day, and like I want this to go this way, but things are not going to go the way you want them.
Because there's other people.
Exactly. So
traffic is traffic.
And I ain't gonna lie, that is my biggest trigger. I can't stand traffic.
I fucking hate traffic.
Boy, I go goddamn 0 to 1,050.
Why the fuck they just? And then what happened? We see a car flip. Oh man. Then we just take a second to just really.
You be fucking losing it for me.
But you still don't take a second to look. You still don't take a second.
I might. I hate rubbernecking.
It take a thing.
I'm gonna tell you this. It's a difference.
Subconscious.
It's difference though. It's a difference.
And you like.
No, I don't stop.
You don't stop,
and I keep going.
Everybody stops.
Everybody else stops. I hate it.
I've never seen you.
I hate it.
I've never seen you in traffic not stop.
I hate it. You stop because you have to, but this is me. Whatever happened had nothing to do with me. I hope they're okay, and I'm keeping going. I don't want to hold up this track because all this rubbernecking, me stopping, trying to look, is holding up, and now somebody can run into me. It can be another accident. No, I'm gonna look and keep going. And my reaction to looking around is for me always being observant of my surroundings. No matter what, I drive ahead of me and I drive behind me. I'm looking in my rear view at all times, and I'm looking way ahead of the street so I can know how to maneuver through traffic that shouldn't be there. But yeah. If it's a car crashed or anything on the side of the road, unless I cannot move, I'm not trying to look over there too long, because if I'm looking over there, like I said, somebody can run into me. I might, the person in front of me might hit their brakes. I might run into. No, I'm trying to get the fuck on. So this is what was causing traffic. Now I can goddamn get through this shit. Yeah, I don't care what y'all got going on. I hope you're okay.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it be my nosy side. I'll be like, you know, what they doing over there.
Now, if I'm in the passenger seat or something, then I can be a little nosy. But if I'm driving, I'm trying to get there alone. I want to get out of traffic as quick as possible. That's me though. That's me. Nah, I do not like traffic. I know that is a trigger for me. Like
some shit you can't control, man.
Yeah, and I've been getting sometimes better. I ain't gonna lie.
Or being them motherfuckers that wait till traffic died down.
Yeah, that's what I learned. You gotta learn how to deal with shit. But that shit pissed me off too when I try to wait till after traffic. And then I get to driving and it's still traffic. Like, why the fuck are y'all still out here? Take y'all asses home.
That shit hella funny. Man, right?
Yeah. But shit, let's talk about this music that you got going on, man. I know I did a couple of your videos.
Oh yeah, fucking raw.
Well, we did his and hers,
Shit's
and
clean.
what was the other one?
Summer Walker.
Summer Walker.
Summer Walker.
When are we looking for the releases of these videos? Tell us the concept of these songs first. Tell us what the songs were about.
The concept of his and hers was kind of like you could take it any way you want because it's like self-explanatory. But where I was going towards it was we both have visions, and at times, you know, thoughts and things are just thoughts and things. But then you start to realize thoughts become things. So what I was explaining on his and hers was just me messing around and saying, oh, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be the greatest, and feeling like that in that moment to become that, you know, and having that bravado and ego sometimes can be refreshing when you're very, very humble and very serving of others. You know, just little shit like that. Me as an artist, I am an artist, but then I begin to observe shit, and with observing shit, able to unwillingly just be you.
Well, yeah, okay. So that's interesting about that song. We definitely gonna get into it.
And
We looking to see that video song.
Yeah.
Summer Walker was a fire video. I kind of like that video. It was.
Summer Walker. I just played on the words with the pop sensation Summer Walker herself. Just pretty much kind of like playing with that, but Summer Walker kind of just, you know, when you in summer, people are in summer clothes. They wear nicer things that kind of show. When it comes to women, they show a sense of, you know, just they transparency, you know, through clothing, as opposed to like winter. Girls hate winter, you know. It's like they at the end of the day, that's why there's a whole bunch of holidays in winter. That's what spending habits. They have all nice little trinkets, renovate the house 5 crazy times from.
Get rid of all that stress. They hate winter that much. They stressing out.
There's spring cleaning. There's birthdays. There's all of that. You know. So, but with that, I was just playing on to like the music aspect. So I was playing on to the different genres of music, where there's different ways of fashion. So the chorus had a lot of genre musics, and using those genres to make metaphors, like the way she walk is hip hop, the way she walk is poetry, ass on hip hop, pussy on pop artists, shit like that.
Okay. I like that, man. So, what type of rap artist would you consider yourself?
I would say I dive into a lot of it. It's hard to, you know, I think you can hear through my music naturally the identity crisis. If you were to hear songs, they all sound different but great, almost like a chameleon.
I like that.
So, I mean, I guess I learned to realize who I am and just kind of move in a certain way to kind of overall see my end game. Because why else are we here? So, I think the music transcends that part of me, whether it's right or wrong.
I like that. We're gonna touch on a little different subject right now, a little bit of deeper. I mean, still on hip hop and everything. Something I touched on a couple of podcasts, but we have to retouch again because of the sensitive situations that are always happening.
Yeah.
Hip hop right now always has taken losses, but It seems in the last 4 or 5 years, the deaths in hip hop have risen to an all time high. How do you feel that deaths in hip hop relate or correlate to the music that is being put out, or to the, for that question first, how do you like so the deaths in hip hop correlate to the music?
Hmm. Well, stand on stage long enough anywhere. Stand on a car anywhere. Stand on a corner anywhere, and say you're the best. And have someone challenge you. Eventually, you'll meet your challenge. And I would say, when it comes down to that, it sometimes it's it's a scream for help, but at the end of the day, people misconstrue what they're mirroring and how they feel and where they're at in life as a promotion of it. So I think it takes a village to get everyone and the youth to understand that this is an expression, where I think my age group in the 90s grew up being ushered into hip hop as like a real culture.
Hmm.
And now it's more so, a, I would say, like a fashion statement where you can have a race of people love a footwear like Jordan Dunks, but they're completely not for the culture. They don't care about us. It's about, for them in their world, just their fashion and their self of whatever. And it just gets promoted um, throughout.
So, do you feel that most of these rappers that have died is because they promote violent music, or are in that space for to put themselves in the predicament in that violent music?
I believe you're. I believe that there is for sure a correlation because most of us live in a reality of it. There is, it's real, and I've said some things to some people that are well known in Oakland about personal things, like because I've been around atmospheres, A-list celebrities. A-list celebrities are in my DMs and stuff like that. So
So, what do you feel about this takeoff situation? Because obviously he makes party music,
mhm,
club music,
mhm,
and he was caught in a situation to where, of course, he wasn't putting on any animosity towards anyone or anything, and basically in the wrong place at the wrong time, and
mhm,
shot in the back of the head.
mhm.
Somebody wanting to get rankled. However that goes, we won't speak on too much on that situation. But how do you feel about that situation and how it correlates with what we are discussing now? Because obviously he's not a person that promotes too much violence in his music. It's mostly partying and everything. How do you think that situation correlates to things that's going on right now and everything? Because like I say,
Like,
he makes club music, party
yeah,
music, music for everybody. And obviously he is not the type of person to um, get in a violent situation with anyone.
mhm,
He leans away from it.
mhm,
He never was the type of person to
mhm.
be on that type of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
well, yeah. I mean, it has nothing to do with. I don't think it has anything to do with that. It has everything to do with being seen so much that some people indirectly envy you. That's really ultimately what it is. It doesn't matter if you can be a regular person, doing nice things for someone. You could just. I was walking down the street today, and for whatever reason, that's what transpired was a person that just threw his hands up. For me, I'm walking down the street. I'm not in no one's way. I'm not in, But for him, there was no walking sign. I mean, yeah, okay, it was a middle-aged white man with chocolate under the race, or we could say he was just mad today. he needed something to just. So when you're around individuals that I mean, you can't go around just feeling like people don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I don't mean to disrespect. I don't know that situation, but for on me on the outside looking in, it's like you have to care about the mind states that are around. So when you realize that, I mean, you're a well-known person, you have to move accordingly. And yes, he was the quiet one. Yes, he was the one um, chilling, not doing much. But the atmosphere, what comes with it, is still a chance of life and death. We can say, how can you can't just go outside and have fun and live life and people can't respect you and be this cool person. Well, everyone wasn't that. I mean, they would be in this position.
So why do you think pop artists and other genres of music don't have these same problems? I'm sure people envy them too. I'm
Hmm.
sure it's jealousy in those industries as well. So why do you think
Hmm.
that they don't have these same type of problems?
It's how we grow up to fight. So pop artists and things of that nature, they grow up to fight legally. If you think about it, if you think about certain backgrounds when it comes
So you're
down
saying
to,
their fans will rather fight them legally than to.
they get lawsuits up the ass about irregular shit, or they canceled per se. They try to what is defamation of character and things of that nature, where ultimately destroys a legacy. Um, and it's hard to rebuild that one under the name. If you would say, yeah, I'm a son of Genghis Khan, I'm a son of Hitler. What's that? What? Why are you even saying that? You know the society you're in, and things of that nature. So I would say in our culture, how we handle things, we grew up seeing it was to understand that's what is happening and we need to change it. But it gets misconstrued as, see, look, this is what's happening. We need to protect ourselves from ourselves. But you see that oxymoron? Protect ourselves from ourselves because we think we're protecting ourselves from ourselves.
I was explaining that to somebody yesterday, so I understand exactly what you. Speaking on that, though, we're gonna switch up a little bit. How do you feel about this Kyrie Irving and Kanye situation?
Man, it's
Do you believe they are in the same situation, or do you believe they're completely different?
if you think about where Kyrie and they're being attacked as like the pop artists I was speaking about,
Mm-hmm.
whereas certain rights of it's they chalk under freedom of speech now as hate crime.
I feel that it's like my opinion. All Kyrie did was post a picture of a movie. He could have been
Yeah.
saying it was a good movie or whatever,
Hmm.
but he didn't make the movie.
Yep.
Jeff Bezos made the
It was
movie.
on
It's
Amazon.
on Amazon.
Hmm.
So all he did was, you know,
Yeah.
post that movie. It's not like he had anything to do with making the movie, promoting it or anything.
Hmm.
I don't think he was wrong for anything that he did. We all watch movies. We all watch documentaries. We all watch TV. You have a right to watch what you want to watch and feel how you want to feel about it. This is
Hmm.
media. Um, Kanye, that's a different situation. I used to defend the man, but yeah, this nigga don't went off the wall, so I ain't even fucking with it.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna touch
Kanye.
on too much of it. I ain't never bought no fucking Yeezys. Won't never buy no fucking Yeezys.
Yeah, I ain't got no
Nigga,
right now. But look,
see, fuck yeah.
at the end of the day,
Pay them niggas for Dunder, man. Pay all everybody that you know. And pay all the vendors that you didn't pay for Dunder. That's what you do. Get all them lawsuits.
yeah,
And
he went. He went.
pay. Stop talking about you up this money and you done came up this much and shit because you ain't paid the fucking people that goddamn put on your fucking show. Pay the people that you're supposed to pay. How much money do you really have? Stop running off on people. You don't get on fucking media and be started goddamn going off on people and doing all this. You ain't did what the fuck you supposed to do. Take the dick out your ass and go goddamn be a fucking man, you fucking pansy bitch. Pay them fucking people. Fuck Kanye, fuck Yeezys, fuck everything. That's why you ain't got the Yeezys and Adidas no more, you stupid bitch.
And that's crazy.
Now talk through a wire, you stupid motherfucker. But yeah, man, I believe them situations are completely different. I don't think Kyrie did any wrong by posting something that he felt
He
like
didn't
a movie,
do
man.
anything
So
wrong.
you're expressing your right to sin. So.
But Kanye, there's like those thoughts are things to just work out all the way through. Maybe 30 years.
Yeah,
You need
work them out by itself and.
All of the things you claim, work that out. You want to provide evidence. You want to provide arguments. You don't win them by saying things and using your influence to do the same things you were complaining the medias that were doing to you by twisting the narrative. Yeah. Nonetheless, in his perspective, he went crazy per se. And we could even say it came from a certain understanding of fighting fire with fire.
None of us promote hate. I don't care what it is, on what race, on what it is.
Too. You can't.
You've been hated on for so you can't fight hate with hate. We've been hated on for so long. It keep going on. I don't promote any type of hate. I can't. I will not.
You need two
if you approach me with hate, I will defend myself. You know what I mean? I do believe in Malcolm's beliefs over Martin's in a lot of situations, and I will put that out there. But I'm not going to take you.
That's probably what it is.
There.
You know, and you can't use it as even an excuse to even promote hate too, because that. I mean.
No, I ain't promoting hate. I'm just saying don't put your fucking hands on me.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I don't care who you are, what you is. Shit, don't put your hands on me.
That's the wrong.
You put your hands on me, it's bet me to react.
For real.
But
and some, and that's why like Kanye does better when he make music and put it in music.
Well, we got to start supporting his music too. You keep supporting his music, he gonna keep supporting him, thinking that he can do these other crazy ideas and put all of that out. So it comes to a point where
Jay-Z was speaking about something similar, and he was speaking about the situation of the owner of the Clippers somewhat having racial remarks about like their monkeys and this and that. To this girl, he got aired out by some girl, and one thing Jay-Z spoke on in that situation of we don't fire him from his position. Suspension is maybe was needed, even touching on the Kyrie situation a little bit on Kanye, but it's like we take a lot of steps back because it puts a lot of people in hiding if they are racist, if they are hateful. It's easier to weed them out when we allow a degree and then digress it little by little to then eradicate it. And when you fumigate a house, what are we doing? We're trying to get all the nasty ass shit that's in the house and whatever rats, whatever, and then we analyze the problem. It's the rats. We either kill them, capture them, let them go, put them in their own bucket of people where they all can flourish or destroy themselves. So in a sense, I think I believe in that way where it's like you behead someone long enough, people are just gonna get smarter in doing the things on why we're beheading them, to where the people that are being beheaded or beheading the people are now being beheaded and they didn't see it coming. Because now the game is more slicker, the game is more oiled and fitted to, okay, that's what they did to Kanye, so we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to work around. We're going to we still gonna hate, but we gonna hate in secret, you
Yeah.
know. And then that's scarier, where we don't know if certain incidents can be correlated to just the idea. Watching an idea transpire all over social media, it makes us have our own ideas to think we could push it more and push it more.
Hmm.
But it's like, yo, we just we understand you may have made a mistake. We understand maybe where you were coming from. If you come from trying to understand Kanye, maybe we could get to understanding him. But we always continue to come off as not understanding, and where we demanded to be understood as a culture this whole time.
But how many times we tried to understand Kanye?
Man,
And then after he said it, he was invited on the show to explain what he said, so we could understand him, and he went even more off the rails. So, I mean, I'll say with that person, that I'm personally
I
done
get
with
what
him,
you're saying.
and it was like, so like I said, I completely understand what you're trying to say. Like, you give a person a chance. You know what I mean? Like, cause we all make mistakes. But when you keep making the same mistakes, it's no longer mistakes; it's a choice. Like, you know what you're doing at this point. Like, damn, I'm not trying to fix it. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. And now you're unapologetic about your choices. All people aren't the same, so every situation is different. We were just speaking on that individual's situation and his crazy ass.
Yeah,
But hey,
it's a conundrum for sure. It's at the end of the day though. I'm ultimately, I would say we could worry about how we can handle things that we hate. You know,
yeah,
it just shows we just gotta see the humanity of them inside of us
hmm,
for ourselves. It's not to okay him. It's not to accept him or any way. We use it so we can learn how to be better human beings. We use it, you know, and take the best of him.
the one in the kitchen.
Take the best of anybody. I think that's what creates a better world.
Yeah,
But perspective of what's good and what's,
what's wrong?
you know, it's up for grabs. Shit. All here living life.
Oh yeah, I completely understand all of that. Um, Shit, we gonna wrap up in a minute. We're gonna talk a little bit more about you and your music. You being out here from the Bay Area, from Oakland. Um, we know that you used to do a little bit of music with Fab. Tell us about that.
Oh man, that was like when I was on the very beginning, um, and I was signed to this group called Fresh Out around like I was 17 or something, and it was a it was it was something called it was a track called Stop the Violence, and I got introduced through the whole situation by this artist named Lunacy. Lunacy is a dope artist from Oakland too, and I met him through just a connection that I knew, and I just went to the studio. We started working, and we created a track called "Stop the Violence." Jay Styling, um, Compton Menace, Peter Weeder, Shady Nate, Mr. Fab, my boy Juggernaut the Beast, and this 1-3, my G. They was all on it, and so we created a track, and I thought it was cool to just be on a track with Mr. Fast speaking um, what was needed, you know, and not what's wanted.
Mm.
So that's cool.
Yeah. As I seen since I moved out here, I seen like he's very big on the politics, especially music and helping out the things around the community and everything.
Yeah.
Tell us some more things about Mr. Fab that you know how your feelings and everything about.
Man, I would say um, he goes out of his motherfucking way to be genuine. That's one thing about Mr. Fab. And anyone bitter about anything, how he moves, anything, I would say, they just should take a look at they self.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is anything um, that you would want to better yourself with, I mean, that man speaks the truth every morning, sometimes 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And adding on top of that, content that'll make you laugh. Something that's relatable to us too, though. And then on top of that, he's running businesses and connecting.
A great hustler. Great hustler.
You could go on and on if he's one of those, and very humble about it. That's probably why people don't give him the respect that is due. Um, that's how I feel about Mr. Fab. Just he's a great role model.
Yeah. So what other artists or entrepreneurs from the Bay area that you look up to that you think other people out there might not know about, or they should try to find and follow for good influence, or that they great people?
So I would say there's so much. I really like it wouldn't be justice to just say a few in this time. I would say there's a lot of artists just really on a lot of their own ways, and one thing that I believe should happen is that like start collaborating more with the content and just having that time and and really just getting into the content, because there's so many great artists out here. It's impossible. I mean, like, this is where artists are birthed. This is where artists come here and go and run with freight like lit. If anyone said lit, it's been in the Bay for the longest. It's time to get lit. I mean, you from Atlanta, right? Yeah. When did that turn for y'all?
We've been doing it for a minute.
For a minute too? Like, since...
But you gotta say Atlanta and the Bay are like on a lot of the same type shit.
I was feeling
like it's
like
very...
in Detroit too, like the Bay.
Yeah, it's different though. It's like Detroit and the Bay are on the same type shit. Atlanta and the Bay used to be on the same type shit. They still very much correlate.
Yeah.
But it's a little more difference now. Like during our crunk era, Atlanta and the Bay was like right there together. Now it's like, as far as music wise, I can say now, but as far as movement, Atlanta, it moves a lot like the Bay. Like, and that's why when I go to Oakland, I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's like the pattern. So like when I grew up in Bakersfield, it seemed like there was a lot of Bay Area, Atlanta, a lot of people.
Go back and
if
forth.
If you were African American in Bakersfield, it's like they all came from somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like I listened to Lil Wayne, and like I really didn't. I grew up on the Chronic and shit, but like Lil Wayne, Big Time, and like Project Chick.
That's who I grew up on. So
bruh, like blew my mind. It was in my I didn't know where Atlanta was, but I still want to go to this day. You gotta take me.
We going, man. We going. We gotta take the trip. We're going in a couple of weeks actually.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, shit.
We it's definitely that time.
But there's a lot of artists out here, bro, and they don't respect. Like, what I would like to see is just people collaborating more for the art, because we're in this monetization world where it's not for the art, it's for the monetization.
Yeah.
It's not to build a brand, it's to make the brand go viral. And then when you deal with how viral the brand is, the upkeep of the work don't match, so it'll just fail.
Because you haven't done the work.
You haven't done the work, so it's all about just masterminding and coming together, like, and really just everyone go viral on. If let's say Mr. Fab, it's always like a thought in everyone's brain. oh, someone should do this with this, with this, with this.
But no one does it.
So for me, I'ma just come with the pockets, like how I came with you. See how I brought every type. I tried, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then you do it the next time, and the next time it only get better.
Exactly. Well, that's what's up, man. We like to say, we had my boy Julius Michael B on here today. I think it was a great conversation that we had, Tom. We touched on a lot of different topics and everything. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. If y'all haven't already, make sure you like it, hit the like button below, subscribe, follow, turn that update button on. Make sure the notifications button. Every time we drop a video, you notified. Let us know in these comments below how you feel about the topics that we were talking about today. Let us know more topics that you want us to talk about, things that you like to hear. Shit, we here for you, man. It's real views, man. So let us know how y'all really feel, man. It's your boy Bruce Barnes. Make sure you follow me at the real Bruce Barnes. Make sure you follow me at Bruce Barnes for real. Follow the real views. Follow Julius Michael B. Check down below. Here go his IG right here. Make sure you get that. Follow us, subscribe, keep it going. Tell us what it is about. We're gonna catch y'all next time, man. Keep that shit going.
Bitch got money like a falling off a tree. Nigga talk shit like this money ain't free. Laughing at that nigga like Nah, nigga, D ain't no PPP. The young ass ain't hard. I should buy a garage. Nigga try to act like he hard. Boy, you wish Nicki Minaj. Bitch got